Former U.S. President Donald Trump is due to appear in a federal courthouse in Miami tomorrow. This will be his initial appearance in connection with the charges which include the willful retention of highly sensitive national defense records, obstruction of justice, making false statements, conspiracy and concealment. Of the 37 counts against the former president, 31 relate to secret and top secret classified documents that he kept after leaving the White House in early 2021. But Trump has previously defended his retention of classified records, claiming without evidence he declassified them while in office. Well, for more, we are now joined by our correspondent, Sherwin Bryce-Pease in New York. Sherwin, a very good afternoon to you. Morning for you, I would presume. This will be Trump's initial appearance, as we said in the introduction, on the indictment involving completely different charges to the indictment back in March. So talk to us about what we can expect then tomorrow.
Well, it was unprecedented in April when he appeared in a state court here in New York, Manhattan, in relation to those alleged hush money payments in the 2016 election. It was unprecedented then, and it will be unprecedented when he walks into that Miami District Court tomorrow, a federal court, and charges that are being pursued here by the federal government. So unprecedented in another nature, Unati, in that the former commander-in-chief, the former head of the government, is now being pursued by the government he once was essentially in charge of. So unprecedented in certainly those elements, but also unprecedented in the nature that this is a presidential election. We are already in the presidential cycle. Donald Trump, of course, the first out of the gate, if you will, in November last year, announcing his candidacy. And at the time, we spoke about the fact that he was probably doing it so early because he knew that these charges were coming. And so, as we correctly pointed out there, the president is today claiming that this is part of a broad conspiracy to interfere in his prospects of regaining the White House come 2024. So we are certainly in uncharted waters, uncharted territory here. And Professor William Howell of the University of Chicago really speaks to the unprecedented nature of this, but also the implications for Donald Trump, the candidate in the race for the Republican Party's presidential nomination. This is what he had to say. Watch.
In an important sense, this is unprecedented, these most recent events. We've got a former president who's seeking re-election, who's been indicted by the Department of Justice, that's overseen by his likely competitor in the upcoming election. These are an extraordinary set of events. I'll say, though, I don't think that in any fundamental way this disrupts the basic dynamics of the upcoming presidential campaign. He's facing all kinds of legal vulnerability, of course, but that this case is going to play out over months, possibly years. He's the judge who's been assigned the job is a Trump appointee who's, to the extent that she's going to exercise influence, I suspect it will be in delaying the case further, which is going to spill these legal proceedings further into the 2024 presidential election, which is going to allow Trump to make the case, again, that this is all corrupt.
So, Nati, this also speaks to, a very basic theory of democracy, republics, right? We did away with monarchies and absolute monarchies due to this jurisprudential notion, right? The theory of the law that says no one is above the law. And that, I think, is going to be very much a test case here. The proof is going to be in the eating, if you will, of this pudding, in that, is Donald Trump going to be above the law here, or is he going to face charges and, go through the process as any other citizen would? And certainly the indications are certainly in New York and now in Florida tomorrow that is now going to be very much in the purview of American society. Very closely watched here how this trial is going to play out, given, of course, the backdrop here, which is, of course, the presidential election in 2024.
Sherwin, thank you so much for that update. Of course, unprecedented times indeed. Sherwin Bryce-Pease coming to us live there from New York. Of course, former U.S. President Donald Trump is due to appear in a federal courthouse in Miami tomorrow.